And I'm gonna be actually talking about, you know, like if you want to send me a message, and, you know, send me anything, then, you know, I'm free to, I'm free to reply. So let's say you want to send me a message about shoutouts or something, anything. I'm free to talk. Twitter, Google Plus, or Facebook, or even YouTube. You know, I have all those. Link in the description of my Facebook, Google Plus, and YouTube. And you can check, check those out. And I'm free to talk to people. Try to get out shoutouts. I'm gonna try to do shoutout Sunday or something like that. But I'm actually gonna do 2 video a day, and that's why I'm gonna be making 2 videos in one day. It's either gonna be Saturday or Sunday, depending on what's happening. You know, most likely it'll probably be Saturday or Sunday. You know, it just really depends, because Sunday you might not have time, I might not have time, and then Saturday I might not have time either. So it kind of relates on what days. So if let me know if should I do shout out Sunday, or is that just stupid? And people but actually there's a lot of channels trying to get big nowadays, including mine. But you need some kind of channel to try to build other channels that's not so big and not so big and hot, because there's millions of people out there doing commentaries, but there's not a lot of people. There's not a lot of people watching the small commentators. They're just people that they're just watching the big commentators, Machinima and all those other people. But if one of those commentators, just one of those commentators who have over 400K, they can just shout out all of these small channels, then those small channels, then they can start coming up, and then the big channels, then the big channels can, then there's other smaller channels can kind of shout out the other channels, and then it's just a cycle of just channels, just shouting out other channels, and then everybody won't have to worry about us. There should be like an easier way to get big or channel. It shouldn't be a couple 5 months wait. It shouldn't. It should just be one channel shouting out a whole bunch of channels, and then if you want to get on that channel, then you subscribe and try to watch their videos, or But some shoutouts, if you actually think about it, some shoutouts cannot actually work. You get shouted out, but then they're like, oh, I want to shout out, and then they're like, they might, view, but you can't just say shout out to this person. Like, you have to say, kind of what kind of videos they do, and then if the people like their what kind of videos they do, then it's perfect. They do the videos that they want to do. And then they could just watch the videos that they do, and it just works perfectly. It really works perfectly, because they can just, like, okay, I'm trying to find a newcomer, because I want to see, because even though you're coming out with a video, you're trying to help other people out with videos. You try to, you want to see other people's videos to kind of relate to your videos. People with the same equipment you have, or the same things that you have. You want to kind of relate, watch their videos, see what, like, oh, he's doing this, maybe, I should kind of do it, but not kind of copying what he's saying, or kind of copying his crowd. You don't want to copy, if it's like, kind of like, oh, that's a good tip, to do, like, to not try to do something, or, like a little tip, so like, put your thing, put your name in the right corner or something like that. That's a cool tip, but, it's kind of a little tip or something like that. But you gotta watch other people's videos and watch other people's things, and not just just want to watch the big YouTubers. The big YouTubers, they got different things. They probably scripted, or they they know what they're gonna do. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't they know what they're gonna do? And some people, when you get big, you kind of don't need to make a lot of videos. But when you're small, you should be making a lot of videos. But when you get big, you should still be making videos, but just not make as much. Well, it's good to make as much videos, but I don't know, it's kind of like you know, you're already big, and you know, you already have your channel views and stuff, and then you kind of, you know, you already kind of got to relate to everything.